You know, sitting down here, looking out the sunroof. If it's at night, it'll be in a nice stargazing seat. Why can't all cars be like that? Let's go! Whoo! Anyway, today we have the Kia Carnival. And Kia calls this car a GUV, or Grand Utility Vehicle. I think they're trying to make this car more SUV-like. Yeah, if you look at the first 1.5 meters of the car, it does look like the front of an SUV, but if you look at the rest of the car, you can't run away from the fact that this is actually an MPV. So it's just a people mover, but it does look very sporty up front. I think it's a missed opportunity for them to not call this a GPV, or a glorious purpose vehicle. Up front, I feel that the Carnival's aesthetics is much sportier looking than your regular MPVs. It's helped by this very aggressive looking front grille. You know, this design is what Kia calls the tiger nose, but I think here it looks more like a whale. It's huge and it's very wide and imposing when you see it in your rear view mirror. I like the baton design, it's nice and shiny. And look at the number of lights here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The DRL is this weird shape here. Yeah, I think it's okay. I was expecting the DRL to also become the turn indicator, but it's not. The turn indicator is just this small little light here, which is a bit weird because the car is so big and your turn indicator is so small. Here are the headlamps, LED, and if you want to high beam someone, it's not the headlamps that raise up, it's actually this light here. So the high beam comes from here. Very interesting. All in all, I think this looks a lot more different than your regular MPVs, and I think it's a good thing. It looks rather sporty. And from the side, as I have mentioned earlier, the front looks SUV-ish, but all that goes out the window once you look at the rear. It's very MPV-like. In fact, from here, it looks like a baller rapper's car. It's the one and only Digo Double G. It's almost 5.2 meters long. It's close to 2 meters wide, and it is 1.77 meters tall. This is moved along the roads by this very thick 55 profile 19-inch tires. I was quite surprised when I first saw this car. The wheels look very big and imposing, but it actually makes the ride very plush down the road. Yes, let's look at the boot now. The Kia Carnival is priced from $203,000 to $209,000 in Category B COE. The 2.2-litre diesel engine produces 198 brake horsepower and 440 Nm of torque. The 8-speed transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 in 10.7 seconds. For more details on the Kia Carnival or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. And from the rear, you can see that Kia has hopped on the bandwagon of putting an entire strip of tail lights here. And you would think that the turn indicator will probably be here, or this will turn yellow instead of red when you want to signal to change your lanes. But no, the turn indicator is here, half of this white strip. Just this small space for the turn indicator. You would think that this car, being this size, would need bigger turn indicators to tell other people on the road that this whale is going to change lanes. But no, it only has this small turn indicator. Yeah, that's weird. For 7-seaters, you would think that the boot space is crap, 200, 300 liters with all the seats up. Will you be correct? No, because this is over 620 liters of boot space. Look, it passes the anti-trolley height test perfectly, and you can have a luggage in here. And if you can hear this annoying beep, it's actually a good feature. It's alerting you that if you step away for long enough, the boot will close on its own. But if this 629 liters is not good enough for you, you can fold down the seats for more space. And of course, this is not its final form, because if you want even more practical space, you can move the seats down. But the hydraulics, even though they are hydraulics, it's still quite a workout to pull the seats down. But once you do that, loads of storage and loading space. Look! Ta-da! You can even lie down here to stargaze at night. Yes. So for the Carnival, you have a 7-seater and the 8-seater. We are in the 7-seater variant, which is actually more premium. I'll explain why later. So for 7-seater, you have 2 in front, 2 in the middle row, and 3 at the back. Amenities, cup holders, a sunshade, and crucially, an aircon vent, which is located perfectly because it's blowing right at my face. And as you can tell, loads of leg room. Headroom is also great. Yeah, it's pretty comfortable for 1 adult sitting back here. But can you sit 3 full-size adults? I would say it'll be a squeeze, you see, from the shoulder room. But from the butt space, I think it's okay. Leg space, there'll still be enough space for 3 adults. But I would assume that it will be 3 kids. And there are also ISOFIX points on each side. So you can have 2 baby chairs here. And definitely then you won't have an adult here. But it's comfortable. Yeah, so let's check out the middle row. And the middle row is the reason why you get the Carnival in the 7-seater configuration, because you get 2 captain style chairs with armrests and individual seats. This I call the Tauke seat because this is where your VVIP will sit. They will alight into the safety of a pavement rather than this seat where you alight into traffic. And the Tauke feature is because if you feel that the front passenger is not giving you enough leg room, you can actually adjust the front passenger seat through the buttons at the side here. Yes, the Tauke can do that. And the seats can be adjusted backwards and forwards. And as you can see, this is the most forward position. I still get so much leg room, a lot of headroom, and there is an aircon vent here with climate control, and it's positioned perfectly right down my face. I love it. A manual sunshade to block out all the sun. And most crucially, ventilated and heated seats. Ventilated seats in this seat is just heaven. You want to be the passenger sitting in the middle row of the Carnival. You don't want to be the guy who buys his car and then ferries his wife and mother-in-law around all day. But maybe you have a happy wife with a happy life, yeah. To the front seat. So Kia has been known for giving good equipment levels and a relatively luxurious feeling cabin for the money that you pay. It is kind of the same for the Kia Carnival. When you first get in, first impressions, this car is quite majestic feeling. It looks expensive. But if you are really detail oriented and you go down to it, there's a lot of clicky clackety plastics that sort of takes away the feeling of refinement and feeling that this car is expensive, but it's not. Okay, for the price that you pay, it's actually a lot of car. In terms of equipment, there is a very big infotainment system here that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, although it's not connected wirelessly. But when you connect your phone via a wire, it sets up Apple CarPlay immediately. So that is very, very good and convenient to use. Moving down, one thing about the aircon vents, this is a big car, but the aircon vents are minuscule. I had a hard time trying to direct the air into my face. Yeah, I don't know what's with this trend of newer cars having such small aircon vents. Moving down, there's this touch sensitive panel to go through the options in your car. I don't like it because there's no tactile feel to it and there's no haptic feedback, so you don't know whether you pressed it. Moving down, the aircon controls are kind of a mixed bag. You get a physical lever to adjust the temperatures, but again the same touch sensitive panel to adjust your fan speed, which is quite finicky if you are trying to drive and adjust the fan speed. Moving down, great stuff, wireless charging pad and USB ports, and this car has auto hold, very important, and this gear lever, which I like. I think I mentioned in the Kia Seltos review that this gear lever just feels very good to rest your hand on. I don't know why, but I appreciate this gear lever. And here you have ventilated seats, good stuff. This car is 5.2 meters long and 1.995 meters wide, so it is quite intimidating for some drivers, but fret not, you have 360 cameras, so you can see everything that's happening in front of you and at the back of you. So no worries there for drivers who are not that confident. This car will set you up nicely. Kia calls this a GUV, so you expect the driving experience to be very sporty, but I must say the steering wheel just feels very MPV-ish, very uncle-like. Nothing bad with that. The controls are easy to understand. The buttons here on the right controls the instrument cluster and also the adaptive cruise control. On the left is your infotainment buttons. Everything very simple to understand, easy to use. The steering wheel feels nice to the touch. You get electronic seats, memory seats, and they are comfortable. All in all, this is a very comfortable cabin to be in. There is a Bose sound system, and it sounds very good. It will mask out all the clickety plastic. I can't even say it properly. Clickety clackety plastics. Yeah, it's just very plastic lah. Okay, let's see how this thing drives. Let's go. Before we go for the drive, let's talk about our sponsor, Coates. If you're thinking of selling your car, Coates is the best place to do it, because if you sell your car yourself, you have to deal with a lot of lowballers, people who don't show up for the test drives, or people who say, I agree with your price, and then they back out or they try to lowball you again. You won't face all of that problem when you go through Coates. Just send your car to Coates, they'll take a bunch of pictures of your car, put it up on their auction website, and all the used car dealers will bid against each other for your car. And obviously when they fight for your car, the price is going to be better than what you get for yourself. So yeah, visit coates.com.sg to sell your car for the best price possible. So what is it like driving the Kia Carnival? Some performance figures. First, up front is a 2.2 litre diesel engine that produces 198 brake horsepower and 440 Newton meters of torque. Well, you definitely need the 440 Newton meters because this car is 2.2 tons. So it does feel quite big and heavy on the road. And speaking of big and heavy, I guess driving this car would intimidate quite a lot of people. But I think the safety assistance feature of this car helps a lot. For example, there is adaptive cruise control, which makes driving very relaxing. But more importantly, there is lane keep assist and steer assist. What steer assist is the car essentially kind of helps you stay in the lane. I can feel the steering wheel really directing me to keep lane discipline. So that is very useful. And there are a lot of other safety assistance features like front cross traffic alert. So when there's a little kid that's about to run in front of you and you can't see him because he's just too short and this is a very tall car, the car will alert you, and the front camera, there's a camera up front, will show you that there's someone walking across in front. And of course there is blind spot monitoring which works well, especially for such a big car. There is quite a prominent blind spot, so the blind spot monitoring works well. In terms of driving comfort, this is an MPV. Even though Kia calls it a GUV, it feels nothing like an SUV. This is a big minivan and it drives like one. The steering is very light. It's good because when it's light, it's easy to steer. But when it's light, it's not very communicative as well. So it's vague, but it's not something you're looking for in an MPV anyway. You're not going to do a lot of weaving in and out of traffic in this huge beast. So it's actually very relaxing, coupled with the ventilated seats. Driving is extremely relaxing. Turn on steer assist, turn on adaptive cruise control, and driving on the highway, up genting would be very comfortable. And 440 Newton meters of torque means you can go up the genting slope easily. So, is the Kia Carnival a will buy, won't buy, or go try? For me, it is a go try. At $209,000, it is kind of in its own territory because the Toyota Velfire, which is in the same class size, is $240,000. And the other kind of competitor to this is the Honda Odyssey, and that is $180,000. It is on its own and is absolutely comfortable to drive. The driver assistance features are great. If you're coming from the perspective of a family man buying a car for the space, that's when I would pause a while and think, do I buy this car or the slightly smaller cars like the Serena e-Power, which is $140,000? Those can still carry 7 passengers in comfort. It will not be as luxurious as this, ventilated seats and the relaxation mode. But if you're someone hunting just for people carrying capability, the smaller size MPVs do the job well. But if you're buying it for absolute enjoyment and people carrying capabilities, and maybe flexing to your neighbors that you've got a bigger MPV and you can carry your in-laws in more style and luxury, then this is it. Yes, so for me it is a go try. There you have it, my review of the Kia Carnival. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and follow us on TikTok. We are doing many TikToks. Yeah, please show us some support over there. Yes, thank you for watching our review. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.